I always enjoy when we start Podbean.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. All right, we're back live again on Bucks and Brews. Sunday mornings. That's become kind of average for us lately, hasn't it? Sunday mornings.
Those are the great mornings. Just as we move our drinks,
our alcohol right in front of the camera here. So next drinking wicked, I got Arnold Palmer.
Yep. Say I went with apple and black cherry. Okay.
I'm making my own Arnold. They only have lemonade or iced tea, so I'm just mixing today.
That's very exciting.
We're joined by Nicole from Bettie's Pages, which is a local independent bookstore in Lowell. It was Independent Book Day.
It was, yeah. It's like Christmas, but for book nerds.
Right. So was that yesterday?
Yep.
So this is timely, I guess.
I think you and me have a different idea of what Christmas looks like. But
that's why I add the book nerds part. That's
Christmas to us involves like Rochester Mills and both types of stout.
Yeah. So we haven't really met. I say actually it's weird. Nobody's really filled me in on a lot of the things that you do, but I do know that there was some stuff shared Facebook. Because I'm a real estate person. I say your building had some leaking in the roof, and it caused a lot of damage for you guys. How's that going? 9 days?
9 days. I went in on our 9th day, which was a Saturday,
Oh.
and it was literally raining inside my building, and I was just speechless, which is not a thing that happens to me often. And I called my landlord and managed to leave a voicemail that was not sobbing. Called my husband, sobbed a little bit. He's like, I'm on my way. Called my best friend and was just full on sobbing on the ground by the time my husband got to the store because, 9 days in and it was raining. Water and books don't go well together.
Yeah, no, that doesn't. It's weird because I get so many phone calls that it's pouring, it's a river in here, and I get there and there's like a drop of water on the ceiling, and I'm just like, all right. And I got like this exact phone call last week, and the kid's like, there's a lot of water, like it's rushing down, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, And so I send my contractor over, and my contractor's like, there's he filled buckets full, and he's like, yeah, I went and bought him a 55-gallon tote. He goes, I drilled 3 holes in the ceiling, and I was like, oh, that's a shit ton of water. Okay, like I officially believe the first person ever, because normally it's just not like one drop of water. I'm like, all right, I'm glad we're worried about that one spot.
Yep.
I had to drop everything just to get there. So now, so did you, on the insurance wise, did you get to claim insurance for that?
So we were 9 days in, and our building was built over the river in the fall. And so my insurance hadn't gone into effect yet because it needed to be underwritten by somebody other than my local insurance because of just the construction of the building. So it was set to go into effect on Wednesday, and we flooded on Saturday. So
oh, that's even worse.
That is my number one recommendation I give to any new business. Make sure your insurance has started before you start because, I got our rent back from our landlord and we moved to a new location, but otherwise I was just out. We ended up losing about $300. So.
Oh, that's a lot of coin. And he didn't fix the building?
I'm not sure. I'm not in that building anymore. There is another business in there, and I was sure to warn them first of like, make sure you have your insurance, and also make sure that the building isn't leaking because it will leak. So they haven't had any issues yet. So I wish them well and I hope the best. But I was like, I'm out. I can't.
Right.
I driving by it every day because it's just down the block for me. I get like little flashbacks of that horrible day.
Did you lose any one of a kinds?
Yeah, I had a couple. I had a whole really cool science fiction collection that I had gotten that were from like the 70s and 80s, and there was a couple of really cool books in there that I lost. And
I'm sorry to hear that. That's no good. I don't know. It's hard to have a loss, especially 9 days into, like, literally you couldn't have even made your money at this point.
Well, and for Nicole, when did you open?
So I opened January 2nd, 2020. So our flood was on the 11th.
Nice.
So she was open 2 months before.
Yeah, pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we ended up closing for a month because of the flood. We moved to a whole new location, and we opened. And what I like to call our we opened and stayed open date was around Valentine's Day, so February 2020.
And
we made it a month, and then we got closed down for COVID.
Jeez.
So
Okay.
she really went through the ringer of stuff in the beginning.
Yeah. So, welcome to owning a business 101 right here.
Right. I stopped saying, well, what else could happen? It can't get any worse.
Yeah.
I stopped saying that because it just kept getting worse. I was like, nope.
I never say that. I learned that very young. When people always say, hey, it can't get worse, and
it can always get worse.
It's tempting the universe at that point.
Right. It's just, and so I never wanted to know the answer to that question, right? Because I know, like, if I think in the back of my mind, there's so much worse shit, and I was like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, so I will never ask that. I just look at that, like, the task at hand, and I'm like, leaking ceiling? Cool. Now it's just like instant, take care of this, right? Like, I have a flat top roof, I'm calling this guy, like, this is getting taken care of. We're mopping, we're doing whatever. No, that's crazy. So, thank you for joining us so early on a Sunday morning.
This episode is going to be very interesting. So, Nicole's business is in ultra-conservative Lowell.
Yeah.
My wife's business is in ultra-conservative Byron Center. You live in ultra-conservative Jenison.
I do. Nicole's
sitting here with her Black History Matters shirt on. You and I have our Pride baseball hats on.
Yeah.
So we're all pretty outspoken with how we feel about things. And I know Nicole has really felt probably both ends of this to, I would say, extremes.
Yeah.
Being that, how conservative Lowell is. Dawn always says, she goes, I don't understand how we escape this at Break Room Therapy. And I tell her, we're not downtown. We're not in anybody's face. People have to seek us out. Whereas if you go to Bettie's pages, they're right downtown Lowell.
Yep.
Right in front of the business, Nicole has a chalkboard that she's written Black Lives Matter on and other things. And it seems to piss every ultra-conservative person, we're going to say person, off.
Yeah. We had, our Black Lives Matter sign has been out since June, and it's always been some variation of Black Lives Matter on it, but it's always said that since June. And we've had people vandalize it. We've had people spit on it. We get lots of people yelling at it. I have a security camera that faces it. After the first couple of times it got vandalized, I was like, well, this needs to be a thing. And I just get a ton of outraged white people walking by being like, and I'm like, someday I'm going to make a compilation of the videos of people making just the ridiculous faces. And I'm going to be like, I'm going to be YouTube gold. I'm going to make millions off of that because it's hilarious to me.
Start doing it now.
Start doing it now.
Yeah. Put it up on TikTok. I mean, this will be hilarious.
I know. It makes me laugh because I'm like, I'm sitting there and my desk is usually where I can kind of see the front, and I do that on purpose so I can kind of know quickly if anybody's messed with it. And I'll see people walking by, and then I'll pull up the video and I'll watch it and chuckle and just okay.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I love about Nicole is she's been branded as anti-American and anti-police. Nicole, you served this country, did you not?
Sure did. 6 years in the Air Force.
And what does your husband do?
He's a corrections officer. So he works in law enforcement.
So she's anti-American and anti-law enforcement. They've decided out in ultra-conservative Lowell.
Yeah. I'm literally everything that they say that they love, but also they hate me, so.
And I did, full disclosure, attend one of the what do you call it?
Yeah, it's our racial equity vigils.
Okay, so she has a vigil out there, and this was probably September of last year. I was told that we had more people that supported us that day, maybe because the first thing they saw was angry brown man on the side. I don't know. But we did have a lot of, idiots yelling stupid shit like Trump 2020.
Oh, yeah.
That's we came on a good quiet day. That was pretty chill. We have one lady. She looks like a Norman Rockwell painting. until she hangs out the side of her car yelling, F you guys, F Black Lives, White Lives Matter, just like screaming at the top of her lungs. And she will drive by like 3 or 4 times when she decides she wants to come down. And we're just like laughing because we're like, what else are you going to do? Like this little white haired lady hanging out the side of her Buick, just screaming stuff at us. You're like, have a nice day. I don't know what you you're proving our point.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
You know?
So tell us how this has negatively impacted business. Let's start there.
I mean, I have to buy a lot of chalk markers.
Yep.
Honestly, the negative is all of the people who say they won't shop with me. But I don't really see these people having been big readers in the first place. So I feel like I lost out on maybe like $5 or something. So really, it's just the time and energy I have to put into dealing with the bull. Like, it's like I have a whole Google Drive where I keep track of all of the threats that I get and all of the vandalism and all of the everything that I have to deal with. So I just keep track of that for insurance purposes. So that way, if they ever do anything more than just be annoying, my insurance will go after them because they're not going to want to pay for it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure that, you know, negative reviews and calling the police and stuff like that, that's probably a general day.
Yeah, it's I've had the police call on me a bunch of times. Luckily, at this point, the police in the city, like, they are aware of me and they know what's going on, and they're just like, can you please stop calling us about this? You're being ridiculous. The city manager has had to go to a couple of people and be like, because people call about my sign. They like to claim that my sidewalk sign is breaking the Lowell Historical Buildings Signs Ordinance. Sign ordinance only applies to signs that are attached or affixed to a building. Mine is a sidewalk sign that is outside. So the city manager has had to go and talk to other businesses and other people a couple of times and be like, please stop calling us. She is within her rights to have whatever she wants on her sign. Get over it. So.
Well, it's not out there 24 hours a day.
Right, yeah, it's only out while I'm open.
Right.
And that is part of the sign ordinance too. You can't leave signs out overnight if you're not open. So I pull it in every night when I close up and I put it out every morning when I open.
Sure. Well, I think, you know, I say you didn't really get to see, you didn't build anything before this movement kind of came around. So you wouldn't see the negative impact of the amount of customers that you had lost. You know, I can see now the positives, right? The exact opposite. People want to support people that think the same as them. And I think everybody has the right to think the way they feel. And it's just a matter
Shop
of
at businesses that support what you believe in. I'm 100% for that. And if I'm not that business, cool. As a grown-up person in America, you can go spend your money wherever you want.
Right. So,
well, I think that's the annoying part. I don't necessarily agree with certain businesses. Like, we'll go, Chick-fil-A's a good example. Chick-fil-A. I don't call them by their name. Fuck them. I don't like them because they don't like gay people.
Yeah.
So I have never spent a dime at Chick-fil-A, and I never will. I don't shop at Hobby Lobby much either for the same exact reason.
Yeah, amazing how that works, right? You just don't go shopping there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. And I think that especially, you know, the traditional business advice has always been stay out of politics, stay out of religion, don't offend anybody. But millennials and younger especially are like, I work hard for my money. I want to make sure that my money is going to a business that supports the things that matter to me and that have the same ethics that I have. And whatever side of the, you know, spectrum you fall on, that's absolutely how this is supposed to work. Like, you get to spend your money, and that's your vote, that's your voice. That's how you get to make a difference, is where you choose to spend your money.
Oh,
and
you know, I agree upon that. But what I find is people don't, right? And they'll do it when it's a small business. But I personally, like David and I disagree upon things. But like, I absolutely love Walmart. Okay. The business mindset, like the idea that they go to another country, say, hey, you're taken care of for the next 5-10 years. We'll buy everything you can produce. We'll do this. Like, to me, the whole business aspect of it, like you've destroyed and created such an amazing business. Good for you, right? And then we get into like longer parts of how I hate the tax ID, the tax things and stuff like that. But they developed this thing. But like, you hear so many people talk about, oh, I hate Walmart. Dude, I've been there. Like, I've seen all of you. I know for a fact you all shop at Walmart. Like, no, you will always go money aspect, right? We talk about it because I try to support my local hardware stores all the time. But I'm the first to get pissed off when I went and bought a tub of mud. It was a 5-gallon tub of mud. I don't remember what it was, like $25. And I walked into Lowe's and it was $14. And I was like, oh, see, like, I could have just gone to Lowe's. I have no problem supporting the Lowe's aspect, but like I'll always pay $1 or $2 more. But like to pay that much more, it ate me alive. But Lowe's doesn't sell single screws that I need. My hardware store will. So, I think every business is designed in how they want to grow it, right? Like if you could have the choice to put, hey, Black Lives Matter or not, right? You could put your beliefs out there. You could not. Like you're the one that's putting your financial life on the line. You choose how to do it, right? So like for anybody else, they have that same opportunity. If they wanted to open up right next to you and put a Trump store and all lives matter signs out, that's completely up to them, right? Like nobody's going to stop it.
And honestly, most
real mad about. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Nicole.
I get a lot of people get real mad about what my sign says, and I'll ask them, be like, "Well, where's your sign? Where's your business? Go! Nobody's stopping you from doing that.
Yeah.
Go put whatever you want on your sign." And there's a guy who sits across the street from us every morning at our vigil with his very racist, sexist, homophobic signs, and people are like, "Well, don't you want the police to stop him?" And I'm like, "No, because if they're going to stop him, they're going to stop me." And what I stand for is that I want him to be able to say whatever he wants, no matter how wrong it is. And I want everybody in society to look at him and say that he's wrong, because that's I want everybody to believe that Black Lives Matter and that, love is love and all that stuff. But if he can't say what he wants to say on his sign, I don't get to say what I want to say on my sign. So we just wave at each other and go about our business, and he does what he does and I do what I do, and we get more likes than he does. So,
well, I've noticed this with extremists on whatever side you're an extremist of. You always project what you really feel on the other side.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say you or myself or Dawn were extremists when it comes to Black lives or biopic lives or LGBTQ or any of that stuff. We're more realist in the fact that no life is more important than any other life. And we're, happy to support everyone as long as you're not a jackass. For example, we had somebody contact us for an interview on a job. You're going to love this story. I don't know if Dawn shared this with you. And they said, and I quote, "I see that you're very supportive of gays. I want to make sure I'm paid the same as them." And Dawn goes, "What do you mean?" "Well, I want to make sure those people aren't getting more than I am." She goes, "Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not getting anything because I don't think I'm interested in hiring you."
Yeah.
And then he got offended, which, is no different than my neighbor stopping my wife and saying, "We want to have a rally because those gays and blacks have moved into the area and we don't want them to live here." And I ask myself, am I in 1910 Alabama? Where the hell do I live?
Everybody wants to be, and I don't know, I chalk it up to laziness on that aspect. It's like, because, you enjoy where you stay and then your surrounding has changed because guess what? Everybody else thought that, hey, this is a nice area. This is America. And I tell this to people all the time. You have every opportunity to move and go where you feel you want to live, right? Like, now, if you want to be around this, you could own all the land, own it, and then only sell it or parcel it off or rent it out to people that you agree upon in that aspect, right? Like, you could do that, right? And then when it's done, you don't have to do that. But I'm in the business for housing, right? I mean, that's what I do. And so the government has set standards for fair housing acts, right? I can't discriminate against gender, race, color, anything. Like if you're gay, if you're not, like, I can't discriminate against you. All I can discriminate against is what your financial and your history of your background looks like, right? Like, I can only judge you based off of your character and how you handle money aspect. And that's when I look at paper, like, half time I just have to match name with name, but like, it's literally just, this is what it is. You have an eviction, you don't have an eviction, you have a felony, you don't have a felony. You make this amount of money that covers this, sweet. Everything here checks out. Anything less, this is no. Anything more, great. We have somebody good.
Well, and for you, I know that, not to speak out of turn here, you are absolutely prejudiced when it comes to what kind of bills these people might be delinquent on.
Yes.
If they're delinquent on mortgage or rent or credit cards or the car payment, you're probably going, I don't want to take a risk on this person. Whereas on the other hand, if they're delinquent on medical bills, you don't care.
No. And so I get the opportunity to choose that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. In my business, it's cut and dry, but I see it so often where, hey, this happens, right? Oh, we own in downtown Grand Rapids, where it's a very predominantly, gay area. I mean, every sign is Black Lives Matter and pride flags on every house in the street.
Love is love.
Yeah, and my wife is like, oh, I could live here. And I was like, I could not, right? Like, I cannot be in downtown Grand Rapids in the first place, right? Like, the amount of, fourplexes just up and down. And I'm like, no, it's too many people all in one little spot. I can't do this. I have four cars, right? I'm like, where am I going to park mine?
Full disclosure.
Yeah.
Where my mother lived when I was born in Chicago. Yeah. With my father, gay area of town.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
She loved living there because nobody ever bothered her.
That's exactly it. I mean, what are they going to do? Make me breakfast? So
I would prefer it if they did.
That's what I'm saying. So, most people don't understand. I'm 6'1", quite a large man. So when I
wear it well.
Yeah. When I show up with a pride hat and I'm showing a unit or something like that, like I'll get a quick look and then you could just see it. Just now I'm gonna keep that one to myself. And I'm like, fucking bet you are, because this ain't gonna happen. But
it's always very interesting because I'm 5'4", very average size, very average everything, and people think like they can mess with me, and then my husband will show up, who is 6'1", big guy, and he just stands there and is like, say something, like he's just ready for them to make trouble, and I'm just like, hold me back,
right?
A little scrappy one, and
you have
really, they're not scared of me, they're scared of the guy standing behind.
Yeah, you have little man syndrome. I'm telling you, man. It's always the little people.
I do.
Like
Don't mess with me. I'm scrappy. I'll take you out. I'll claw your eyes out. I'll do what I gotta do. But nobody ever does because he's standing behind me and they're like, yeah, maybe not. I'll walk away.
See, that's the difference. My brother's 5'6" and he's scrappy and he'll just go for it. And then all of a sudden it's against me. And I'm like, all right, it's me and you, bro. Yep. It's like, way to go. No, it's so now how has it positively impacted your business?
Before we get into that, Nicole, I have to interrupt Nick. I got a text message.
Why 5'8"? Blonde.
Are we willing to try this and give a review on the podcast?
Oh, heck yes.
Hell yes, we are. So somebody wants us to try a beer, and we are always down.
Let's say.
Sorry, Nicole. Go ahead. How has this positively impacted your business?
So many different ways. The first one is just that, like, my customers are very passionate about the store and they're so supportive because they know what I stand for. So they're willing to do everything they can to make sure that I'm going to be successful and show up and be helpful. And then I think the one that's biggest and most personal for me is just getting to have, especially the teens, but really anybody in our community come in and be like, I feel seen here. I feel like I matter here, that I have a place where I can go, that I'm going to find a book or just even company of people who are going to care about me and want me to be here. And I was like, you are, you're loved, please come in. And so we get a ton of people who will walk in because they just they don't even know what we are. They just saw our sign and we're like, hey, I just like to come in and say thank you. And I'm like, come hang out. We've got books. It's great here. And they usually do hang out for a little bit.
Yeah. So I know you hit on it a little bit, and I try to have you have the same answer. You talked about the teens and people kind of coming in. Have you seen any change in the community itself that you're in? Have you, in a positive or a negative way?
I have definitely brought out the best and worst in people. We have a Facebook group that's for our neighborhood community, and I can't post in there or even really comment without bringing out like the worst in people and also the best in people, I like to think. Yeah. So we have found a lot more. It's an interesting community. They will do whatever they can for you. They'll give you the shirt off their back. Even if it's a Trump shirt, they'll give it to you if you need help. They will help everybody. And then they will turn around and continue to vote for and prop up institutions that will like try and do active harm. And they had a hard time seeing that was the same, like that the same person doing those things means you're not really that much of a nice person. You don't actually love me if you're actively trying to harm me in these larger kind of ways. And so in Louisville for a long time, you were able to just be like, oh, it's such a nice community. Everybody waves and says hi and this, smiles at you. But this last year really showed that, like, I don't care if you're willing to smile and wave at me in Meyer. I want to know if you're going to have my back for people who are trying to actively harm me. And so people are no longer able to just pretend like they can be both. And so that has been something that I've seen a lot in the last year. A lot of us who are progressive in the world have found each other because we all thought we were the only ones. We were like keeping our heads down so that our Confederate neighbors wouldn't notice us, and we're pretending like it's fine, I'm here, but okay, I'm not going to say anything. And so we found that there are a lot more of us here than we thought. So we've been able to create a community and have that support and meet each other and create that network. So that has been positive. But yeah, you also see a lot more of just the angry, the vitriol, the just things that people were able to pretend didn't exist. It's hard to ignore when you see them downtown shouting obscenities at you.
Right. Well, I think, for me especially, I'm forthright with people. I basically talk, I'm an asshole. I hate everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm an equal opportunity asshole. I don't hate you for anything you may or may not be. I wait until you open your mouth and then I find a reason to hate you.
Yeah.
So, if you're a good person, I'm probably going to like you. I might not tell you I like you, but I'm probably going to like you. Like Nick, a lot like me, is very outspoken, but we get along very, very well. There are some things we don't agree on, and as Mike has said, those are his favorite episodes because we'll argue.
Yeah.
But we always come to an understanding. We have a beer and we're happy guys.
Yeah. We don't do anything. We don't do anything upon such a negative of a hate type of a thing, right? Like we run businesses very differently. Our opinions on things are there, but in the end, we just hope each other succeeds, right? So do you live in Lowell?
I do.
Okay. So I almost bought a, I think it was a roller rink, a bowling alley, a mini golf, and an ice cream shop. Laser tag. I almost bought that building. But and then I would have had to manage it, and then I would have gotten away from my other real estate stuff. I always regret not owning the fun things I want to own in life. But I know that
maybe someday.
No, I doubt it. Because if I did, I would do it with a partner that's like, they want to run and manage everything. I'll just be
You're just the money.
Yeah, the silent, and then I just come in and drink at the bar, and nobody will have any idea. Why does this guy never have a bar tab, right? Like that's, if the bowling alley aspect, I will just punch bowling balls up all day, right? Like that's all I want to do in life is, if Nick's there, he's there. If not, okay.
Well, my wife makes fun of me too. So we had a group come in yesterday, and they're 4, we're going to say, late middle-aged Black ladies. Okay. So they're probably in their mid to late 50s.
Sure.
And she's like, well, I'll take them. I'm like, no, I got it. Because for whatever reason, when I hit that age demographic of Black ladies, they love giving me shit.
Of course.
And I'm happy to take their shit. because we'll sit there and we'll joke around and I'll tell them the rule, and they never break any of the rules that I give them because they know not to screw around with me, but at the same time, they totally screw around with me as much as they can.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to let them pick on me. I had a lady one day, I told her to take her jacket off because she's going to get warm, and she goes, "What's your name?" And I give her my name. She goes, "If I get cold, I'm coming for you." That's fine. You can come for me. I'm perfectly fine with that. She gets done with the session. She walks, back into the main area. I said, "Hey, were you cold?" She goes, "No, I was not. You were absolutely right." I'm like,
yeah. So you don't really have numbers to compare, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Yeah. I mean, have you heard of anybody saying they don't want to come visit even though they support you because they don't feel safe? That's a good thing.
No, we get lots of people who come in. So it's been a weird year, obviously, with COVID and people's decisions on whether or not they are or aren't going to make safe choices with COVID. I have been on the very extreme safe choice. My husband is an essential worker. He's had to work every day of this crisis. And I knew that he was incredibly exposed, and I was not going to make that worse for us because he pays the bills. Like my store is self-sufficient, but he like keeps us in food and pays our bills here. So like he needs to be able to work and stay safe. So I was not going to put him in any more risk. So we were incredibly strict from the get-go. We closed before we were required. We stayed closed longer than required. We're very vigilant about masks. So that actually helps, keeps a lot of the assholes out because they don't want to wear a mask, which is very helpful for me. And so I have a lot of people who are like, this is the only place that I've gone to shop because I know that I can come in here and everything is going to be safe and I'm going to be able to come and shop and not have to worry about COVID. I'm not going to have to worry about assholes being in here. I'm not going to have to worry about people harassing me. And so like, I've actually had the opposite of people being like, yeah, no, I know this is the one place I can go where I can be safe, and regardless of what it is that they're concerned about, they can come into the store.
And I'm going to assume the answer to this is yes. Have you noticed that you almost seem like the customers that you get only come because they know you're a safe place?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I literally will get people who come in who are just like, they just want to come in because they saw my sign, or they just want to come in because they saw, something that I posted on Facebook or for whatever, whatever it is. That is the only reason they come in. I've had people come in who are like, I don't even read books, but I just want to spend money with you because I love what you're doing. And I'm like, Spite Money is my favorite money. Here's our other selection of things that we have for sale. And they always go out with something.
Yeah. So you brought up your husband being the money aspect of things, and the community. So now I'm assuming the community has met your husband. They know what he does. Has there been any issues with his job? Any people trying to attack him, not in a physical way, but like,
if they are, he probably wouldn't tell me. He's very, very protective, and he likes to downplay when bad things happen to him at work anyway. So like he would never tell me if they did. I would like to see them try because, like I said, he's a big dude. Well, he's not. I look at him and I see teddy bear. Everybody else looks at him and they go, I'm not gonna mess with him. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure people have said stuff to him. But he's that guy at work that like, try and say a slur against the LGBTQ community. Try and say something racist in front of him. He's not gonna put up with it.
But like, has his boss gotten any complaints? Like, yeah, let's say that's the biggest key is.
No idea. Yeah. We, the people that I know that he works with are all like super incredible, fantastic people. Like 3 of his coworkers came out after we flooded and helped literally move bookcases down the side of the road because we were moving about a block away. So they helped, like they literally hauled bookcases down the road. They've all been super supportive. I've had a bunch of his coworkers who supported the store just because, they know him, and so they know me through him, and they were like, oh my gosh, you own a bookstore and what you're doing is so great. So like, I wouldn't be surprised if they have, but he would never tell me.
Sure.
Well, that's kind of our way, I would say, as men. Yeah. I mean, we're, if it's really bad, we just don't tell our wives that shit's going on. And
I usually hear about the bad things that happen to him from his coworkers who will then message me and be like, oh my God, did he tell you about this? And I go, no. And so then when I get home, I go, hey babe, so what happened at work today?
You don't just crack them a beer? Let's say.
Yeah, literally, if you give us something to drink, we're probably going to spill all of that.
Yeah. No, I think so. Now let's talk about your bookstore a little bit. Why did you open it? What is your goals? And what do you hope to? Yeah. So like, what do you hope to get to with this?
So I worked in banking before I opened the bookstore. I had a great career. I really loved what I did. I got a new job that was better in title and better in pay, and I hated my life. I was so bored. I was a glorified, like I was a personal banker, and I was a glorified computer. Like I would type stuff into a computer, and somebody else on the other side of the state would make the decisions, and I hated that. And so I kind of just out of boredom started kind of sketching this idea of a store. And I was like, man, if I could do anything, I would do this. And this is what it would look like. And this is what I would want. And I created this space that I would love to go to and that my friends would love to go to. And so I shared it with my husband and I shared it with my best friends. And they were supposed to be like, that's cool. Keep doing what you're doing because you're really good at it. You make good money. And instead they were like, oh, you should do that. And I was like, wait, what? That was not the answer I was expecting. And so I spent about 9 months kind of getting the store ready, looking for a location, starting to like learn everything that I could about the industry and really like building my business plan, and left my job the day after Christmas. And then we opened on January 2nd and then closed. But yeah, so it was just kind of like this whole, if I could do anything, this is what I would do. And then I had people supporting me and backing me and saying, yeah, go for it. And so the whole plan was that, you know, we would try it for a year, and if at the end of the year I didn't like it or we weren't succeeding or, you know, for whatever reason, then I would still be really hireable in the banking industry. I would still, you know, be able to go back to do that. And you can survive anything for a year, even if you were just eating ramen and, you know, living low. We figured out that, you know, like I said, my husband's salary could cover all of our home bills as long as we didn't have to spend our personal money to keep the store afloat. He was like, it's fine. Make your dream happen, go for it. So I did. And the nice thing with opening when I did in 2020, when COVID hit, I had no idea what normal was supposed to look like. I had no built-in ideas of what a successful season was supposed to look like. I didn't know what a normal Christmas was supposed to look like. I had no frame of reference for that. And that really helped me in being able to pivot and try new things and come up with ideas and keep moving forward, because like this was all I've known in this business was struggle and bad things happening, and okay, now what are we going to do next? And so that really helped. And we had a profitable first year, which is not normal for small businesses. You know, the bills were paid, the lights were on, and then in this year I actually got to pay myself for the first time, so that was very exciting for me.
That's huge.
Well, and you know, shameless plug for us.
Yeah,
we've done those episodes. How to live cheaply, how to eat no money. Because of course you and I both struggled. We know those struggles.
Yeah.
Nick's very happy with buy a head of lettuce and you got a meal for 5 days.
Same. I mean, I just had my wife asked me the other day. She's like, "What do you want for dinners during the week?" And like, one of the besides tacos, right? It literally went like this: tacos. I really want hot dogs.
Yep, love hot dogs.
It was just, you know, so, and it wasn't the money aspect. It was literally like, and she didn't make them fast enough. Because once I wanted hot dog, then I ended up at Yester Dog.
Yep.
So, yeah, I didn't care about that. It was literally, but we still had them the next night or whatever at home, and I was like, okay.
I spent a lot of time with Nick's in the summer because he has a pool. And Nick, what do we eat almost every time I come over?
Hot dogs every time.
And am I ever annoyed with the hot dogs?
No.
I freaking love hot dogs. It's the worst thing in the world, but it's the reason I can't be a vegetarian.
It's a more side story, but
go ahead.
My wife and I were just talking, and she goes, "Hey, I want to go back to being vegan," and I was like, "I'm ready for it. Like, I'm done." And then we were talking, and I was like, "No, I'll probably be vegetarian because like I'm tired of giving up cheese, and I really I will probably eat hot dogs here and there." And she goes, "Okay, like everything else can just be meatless meals." I was like, "Nah, I'm fine with this."
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, really don't care.
I need hot dogs.
Yeah, exactly. I say it's It's the small things in life that make me happy.
So my wife, because you both know my wife,
Yeah.
is totally pissed at me today. You want to know why? She goes, "What do you want to eat for the week?" I went, "Grapes." She goes,
"Just grapes."
"Okay, what else?" I'm like, "I just want grapes." She goes, "Red or green?" I'm like, "Yep, I want grapes." And she goes, "So you want grape spaghetti and grape lasagna and grape this and grape that?" I'm like, "I just want grapes. Nothing else sounds good right now. So just buy grapes. I'll be a happy guy."
No, it's like my food list constantly goes, all right. So she goes, "What do you want for the week?" And I'm like, "All right, tacos, tacos, tacos." She goes, "We can't just have tacos." Fine. I want tacos, burritos, enchiladas,
and hot dogs.
Say hot dog, but like it's always just a straight Mexican lineup. Like here we go, right? Go.
This is why you need to live in Mexico.
I do. So now with your business, are you doing online sales? Are you?
So we hadn't originally planned on doing online. I had a website where I planned to have like our events that were upcoming and stuff like that, book reviews and whatnot. But I had zero intention of doing online sales. And then COVID. So I had to create an online store to be able to sell things. And so we sell our books online through a website called Biblio. So our entire inventory is listed on there. And then on our actual website, I just highlight the books that I particularly love. So I have like kids books, and I love to highlight different diverse authors on there. I've got a whole social justice section for books that are dealing with a whole variety of topics related to social justice, and then I've got a whole section of pre-orders. And then all of our gift items. So we've got like stickers. Stickers are huge for us. I don't know why. I love them, so I guess it's good because everybody loves stickers. We do cards. We've got tarot cards. We've got T-shirts, like all kinds of fun, like funny book T-shirts and stuff like that. And so people can get all of that online because I wanted people to be able to shop with us still safely from home. So we have the online option. And it's been interesting because since when I originally opened the store, our point of sale system is one system, our online system is a different system, and then our card system is a third system. And they weren't ever supposed to communicate to each other because that wasn't the intention. And then when they needed to and they didn't, I regretted everything that I had decided to do the year before, but we make it work.
Sure.
So, because Nicole likes stickers, I think we should get her some Bucks and Brews stickers.
Oh, we should.
Yeah, absolutely. I love stickers. They're so much fun.
We love stickers too. That's why we buy them.
So I have a quick list of questions I've just been writing down.
Yeah.
Do you write yourself?
I love to write first chapters. I have so many story ideas and I write first chapters like nobody's business, and then I lose focus and can't keep writing them. But I do help other writers. So I do a lot of beta reading, and I have a best friend who's a writer, and we bounce ideas off each other all the time because I'm a huge reader, so I know all of the tropes and all of the plot holes.
Sure.
Yeah.
So then how many books do you read on average a week or a month? However.
Let's see. In April so far, I've read 23 books.
What? It's so one a day.
Yeah, my goal is to end up with one book a day in April. April is an unusual month for me. I've just been really on it this month. But on average, I read about like 10 to 15 a month.
And how many books have you read in the last year?
How many pages?
So I keep track of every book I read. So everything from a picture book up to a full like novel. So this month I've read like 6 picture books, and then the rest have been like 100 pages or more.
How many books have you read in the last year?
I read my daughter a book the other night while going to bed. So
I bought a book from Nicole like 6 months ago. I've read like a chapter and a half.
I'm part of my real estate group, and they all like everybody says, hey, if you want to be successful, you have to read, because successful people read what 4 or 5 books a month or something like that. And I was like, fuck, I'm not successful. And
not by those terms.
I would like so the one book I lost a lot of respect for the author himself, and so I started it. I read 1 chapter, and I was like, and okay, I get where it's going, and I already kind of know the whole thing about it, but it's so hard for me because like
is somebody we've talked about?
It's Grant Cardone.
Yeah, so we've talked about him.
Like, and I want to read it because like I love the mindset of it, but I hate him as a person now. But so now my question. So my wife and I, we love this show. It's called Younger. Have you seen it?
I have not.
All right. So it's got my girlfriend Lizzie McGuire Hillary Duff all day. But it's about
You're from that younger generation.
Yeah, it's about publishing, and so there's older. It's about publishing and being in this, and so there's a lot of. It's actually a really fun thing. It's about the closest to books that I actually get. Okay.
The closest to books you get is a TV show.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure we got there.
I think I read Rich Dad Poor Dad because everybody said you had to read it and it changed your life, and I literally
Did it change your life?
I called everybody fucking stupid because I was like, if this changes your life, you need a life in the first place. I was just so irritated.
I'm 43 years old. Still, my favorite book that I ever read was Phil Jackson's.
I say that. There you go.
I love me some 90s Bulls.
We talk about this all the time. So I was read a book called Number the Stars when I was in 3rd grade, right? It was read to me, and all through high school, every time I had to do a book report, it was on that book. I knew it. I can tell you till today about this book. I did every book report on it. I never had to read. I skated by. If that's what people wanted, yes. Why? Because it's the easy way out. We had to read 1984. I did not read it, right? I went into cliffnotes.com, took my stupid little notes, and I got a D on the test. All I needed was a D. People don't understand. All I needed was a D to pass. Like
when some people went to school, there were no .coms.
Yeah.
I didn't have a .com.
I would have cheated though. I would have found somebody and said, "Hey, what's the main character's name? What's the plot?" And they would have told me. And all I had to do was get 2 out of 10 right.
I will tell you, I didn't read 1984, but I did read Animal Farm. Great book.
So, but my next question. So, in your business, so my old boss when I was working in the warehouse, actually, he's a writer / illustrator. He illustrates books. And his brother does a lot of the writing, but do you have those types of people come in and like read their book or sign their book stuff and do all that? Like, is that something your company does?
Yeah, so self-published authors, also known as indie authors, are an interesting breed. I'm a huge fan of all books, and I'm willing to take a chance on any book. We do a lot of consignment with those. So basically, they get spaced on the shelf, and they get paid when the book sells. So if the book doesn't sell, I'm not risking anything. So I'm willing to take a chance on an unknown author and put that out there.
Space, true.
If they have a relationship with our wholesaler, that's always the best option because that shows to me that you really care about the industry and you're putting yourself out there and you're doing it in a professional manner. If you just have a box of books in your trunk and you're selling them that way, cool.
Yeah.
I'll take a chance on it and do a consignment. But if you're putting the time into it and you're really treating your craft as like a professional thing, you've created a relationship with our wholesaler. I can get your books through them. You're not just selling on Amazon. I'll take a chance on you. And I've gotten a couple of different books from people who have come in and said, "Oh my God, my friend wrote this book. It's so good. You should check it out." And I'll pull up my wholesaler, and if they're available on there, I'll take a chance. I'll buy a copy and see if I like it and see if it sells well, and then I'll buy more that way. But
yeah. I know he does a lot of with the wholesalers and stuff, and he was trying to get into Scholastic. They actually do a lot of children's books, so I bought all of them for my kid. But I'll have him reach out to you for something like that because again, not reading, not doing anything. I remember going to the library because there was an author there. Actually, it ended up being an author of like one of my favorite books when I was a child, and he signed it and all that, and like I kept it forever. And then when my daughter was born, we had everybody fill out paper or like sign that book that had his stuff on it, and then now she has it for everybody that came to the baby shower, the gender reveal, or something like that. So
I will tell you,
it didn't impact my life in an extreme way, but it was something cool.
One of my favorite gifts. So I had an open house in June of, I want to say 15. And my favorite local comic book shop, Tardy's. Yeah. Good plug for Gavin and Deanna. They were having Jeffrey Brown in. Jeffrey Brown is from Grand Rapids. And he does an entire series on Star Wars. Yeah. Kids books. So I had this book that my daughter had bought for me like the previous Father's Day. It was Daddy's Little Princess. So it was a book based on Vader and Leia. And she went down to Tardy's that day and got Jeremy Brown to sign it for me.
Nice.
Sorry, Jeffrey Brown to sign it for me.
So you can't
I've had a little too much here. I forgot his name. Jeffrey Brown to sign it for me, and I was so just over the frickin' moon.
Yeah.
And then, a couple of years ago, we inducted him in the 501st
as
an honorary member, so I got to run that, and I was very happy about that.
There you go. So I guess me not knowing much about books, what separates you from Barnes & Noble? Or I don't even know the other bookstore on 28th Street that I never go to.
Schaefer's.
Schuler's.
Sure.
Schuler's is an independent bookstore. They are an indie bookstore. They're just a very big indie bookstore. So they're like on the next level from what I do. But what indies do better than any other bookstore is we curate our selection. So I have 681 square feet. I will never be able to compete on price or sheer volumes that like Barnes & Noble can do. So what I have to do is I have to do what they can't do. I have to be very conscious of every book that I have in the store, so that way I can make really tailored recommendations to people. So like, I would love for you to come into the store and I will find you a book that you will enjoy and read. Reluctant readers are my favorite. Like, I love finding books for people and recommending books to them. So we do that really, really well. When COVID's not a thing, we do events really well and connect and create community and just really have that kind of feel of like, this is my bookstore. I want every customer who comes in to be like, this is my bookstore. I love this place. This is my home. And so we just do that really, really well. You don't get that kind of impersonal, I'm just trying to sell you something feel that you get like when you go to Barnes & Noble and you check out and they ask you 63 million different questions about signing up for their whatever thing that they have. And like I said, it's like, you're going to come here and we're going to talk about books and we're going to nerd out about our favorite books being turned into movies. And we're going to talk about, all the things happening in our community, because that's what's really important to us and what we do.
Yeah, I think that's really hard for me because, again, I'll either go to the library, which, I mean, you're a business owner, so I think it might make sense for me to actually come out. But like when I go to the library or when I go to Barnes & Noble, I'm like, hey, where's the business section? I'm looking for this specific, like I need to change my mindset to grow, to develop, to become something, blah, blah, blah. Like this is the book that I'm specifically, oh, here's our business section. People buy this one. I don't want to be people, right? I need to be me, extreme. Like I need to change my focus, my mindset. I'm here reaching out to help with you. And you just say,
here you go.
And I'm like, that one's purple. I'll do that, right? Like, which Rich Dad Poor Dad is purple, and it's just it's so it's funny because I was thinking about it as you were talking. I think buying books, in my personal opinion, is just so dumb unless you're giving it to the book thing at the end of the street, the free library, which I love supporting that type of thing, because. How much I dislike the reading aspect. I love it that everybody else should learn and they should get this stuff because, but what I'm saying is, I own so many DVDs, right? And I will watch the same movie. 50 times, right? Like you and I have seen Step Brothers more than most people ever should.
That's not true. Everybody should see it as much as we've seen it.
Let's say I've seen A Knight's Tale. I am pretty sure I've burned a hole in that. But I don't reread books. And so the idea that people do that, and it's just weird because one's just in your mind and one's played out for you. So I think, so now do you reread your books or any books?
I'm a massive rereader. So there's some science behind it too. They say that people who have a lot of anxiety or deal with anxiety, they like to reread or rewatch things because then it takes the stress out of wondering what's going to happen. So I find that 2020, I reread basically everything. I was like, I don't have it in me to read anything where I'm going to have to wonder how it's going to end. I want to know that everyone's going to be happy at the end and how it's going to go. So I reread a ton in 2020, especially. But yeah, right now I'm rereading a series that I've read probably 4 or 5 times. And I was just like, nope, I want to dive back into that world again. And so I'm rereading it.
And does it change? Does it change in your mind? I guess Yeah.
So what really fascinates me is when I reread something that I read at a different point in my life, because it's not that I see things that I didn't read before, or it's just that I have a different understanding of that world. I read *Handmaid's Tale* when I was in high school, and in my mind I was like, that's a wild story. Oh, it's cool. I enjoyed it. It was a very great book. It's really interesting. It really sucks you in. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I said reread that in 2017. It was right after the election. And all of a sudden, this same book that I knew the whole story to was a whole different experience for me because I was at a different point in my life and I was in a different place in my life. So suddenly things that I had read before made a lot more sense or like stuck out to me, or characters that I didn't like before. Now I would have like a lot more sympathy for and understanding of because I was different than who read that book before.
Nicole brings up a good point. So I have anxiety, you know.
Yeah.
And my wife will get mad at me because I don't want to watch certain season finales.
You don't want it to end?
Well, until the next season comes, because I don't want to sit there and wait 3 months to find out what the hell happens.
Yeah.
And it causes me great anxiety the entire season because they're always building up to this crap. And it drives me insane. I am so much happier when I just wait until it hits, you know, Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever, and I can just binge watch the entire freaking thing, and I get to find out what happens 3 minutes later.
Yeah.
I had this fight with one of my cousins who's, you know, quite a bit younger than me. He's 22. And I told him, you know, as a kid, Empire Strikes Back, I mean, that was rough. And he goes, what's the problem? I'm like, I had to wait 3 years to find out if Han Solo died. I had to wait 3 years to find out if Luke Skywalker really was, you know, if he was really Darth Vader's son. You had to wait 5 minutes.
Is he?
Shut up.
Does he die?
Shut up.
I'm asking for our viewers.
Shut up.
Not for me, because I definitely know the answer to this question.
You do not know the answer.
Who's the first guy you said?
Dick.
It's so bad. Like, I don't cry about it, but like I have lost so much inner child. I still act like a child, but I have lost so much imagination. I have lost so much not being like I'm so much of a realist now. Everything is just, like, and so we talk about Star Wars and I'm like, dude, that's not even real world. It's not real life. Like this is nope. Like here we go. Like
I think that's why I love those type of things so much because I am such a realist.
Yeah.
That just takes me back to just being a kid.
Yeah. And
you gotta read more kids' books is what you gotta do. People will come in saying they want a book and they're an adult, and I'll be like, here's a YA book, or here's a middle grade book, or here's a kid's book. Like, freaking read it. Like, you're still reading. It's still giving you the brain all of the good stuff of reading, and they're great stories, and they bring you back to that like hope and enthusiasm that you had as a kid in a fantastic story. So like, I read a ton of kids' books, and I'm like, they're amazing. You should read more.
Do you have children?
Oh no. I'm the biggest auntie in the world. I'm everybody's aunt.
My wife and I. So my wife will read my daughter at least 2-3 books a night every night since she was born, and my daughter absolutely hates it when I read to her. Right. I'm not the best reader in the first place because like
I've seen your text messages. Yeah, I totally understand.
My mind will not comprehend grammar. Right. Like if I see a comma, to me, it's just a yellow, right? Get through that sumbitch as fast as possible. Here we go, right? Like, I will not stop. The point of it's the end of the book. But my daughter now has, and before she didn't like it, now she's changing, and she absolutely loves it when Dad creates a story in his mind and tells her a story. And so I do this. Actually, I've been doing it for about the past 2 weeks, almost every night, and I will create a story and a fairy tale type thing of some sort. And she doesn't love it when this young girl named Emerson becomes a real estate mogul.
I can't imagine why she doesn't like that story.
I mean, unless it's with castles and stuff. But like, so I'm wanting to change that up. But no, she was out mowing grass. Dad, this is so boring. Yeah, but this grass, it grew real long, right? Like, say
this poor child.
No, it's I'm glad that the area that you're in hasn't stopped you from growing and developing your business. I'm very happy to hear that the community is coming together. So I live in Jenison, Michigan. It is Bible Belt of the USA. I mean, it's funny because I have 2 roads I can turn down to get to my house, and on both streets there's a church on the corner. You can't make this up, people. I'm not lying.
And I grew up in Zealand, so I am very familiar.
Yeah, and so it is starting to come around, and a little bit. And the other day, my wife
they've entered the 1700s.
My wife went for a walk, and about 12 houses from me, somebody put up a pride flag.
Oh, nice.
And it was oh, here we go. Like, because of me being who I am, like, you will not mess with my neighbor. I don't care. Like, I never once touched your Trump flag. You still have your Trump sign out there. It doesn't bother me. We all know who I voted for, right? I was a Jorgensen fan. Like, I'm the only good thing I had going for me. But I will respect your opinion. It doesn't change who you are. How you act and how you carry yourself is who you are. Your opinions, that's just it. Like, you know, I have the only African American neighbors in Jenison that we know of, and they've been there for like 50 years. And my neighbor's like, they're the greatest people. They just don't talk to anybody. And I'm like, I've met them once and I've lived there for 6 years. So, but everybody in my neighborhood is just so, but it's changed because you didn't, if you're young like me, you grew up and you probably mowed your grass on Sunday. Well, the little bit before that, you never mowed your grass on Sunday. You like
against the law to mow your grass on Sunday.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so now, and it's funny because I, being the millennial, I'm like, screw this. Like, I don't have time during the week to mow my grass. Guess what? Like,
Sunday's the thing.
Saturday, like, and people get pissed because I think it's 8 a.m. is like when the noise thing can, and I'll get up like 8 a.m. and I'm starting it. Why? Because I still have the rest of my day. We had to do today's episode 30 minutes earlier to schedule because I have to go spend time with my wife and kids, right? Like, I have priorities in life. And so guess what? These things need to get done. And there's only so many hours in a week. And that's what drives me, is because I think life is so short. I focus on that end goal. Like, how quick can I get to where I need to be? That's my business mindset. There's other people out in this world. They're like, it'll come, I'll get there. And then I'll ask those people, like, hey, what's your 401k look like? I'll retire. It's okay. Social Security's got me. And I'm like, cool, man. Like, let's talk when you're 60. Like, I can't wait to catch up with you. And you're going to have to find me on the beach and I'll come find you still working. Like, no disrespect to you, but my mind has always been use every minute of time, get to where you want to be, and then relax, right? Like, yes, I'm this big and I eat like a crap ton, but if I'm like busy during the day, my wife gets so mad because I'll just wake up, go mow the grass, go grab it, mow a bunch of other properties of mine, and then next thing you know, it's really late in the day. She's like, hey, have you eaten today? No, I've been working. When would I have time to eat? Like, I don't think you understand how this works. And then I scarf a million things. So nice.
Dawn entered our live studio, so she's listening to us now.
Yeah.
Hi, Dawn.
But so let's talk real quick. We have a few more minutes.
Actually, I want to get to something.
I want to talk about your business.
Well, we'll get there in a minute.
No,
we'll
right now.
So, I mean, this kind of relates to our business. So, I know that. Oh, hang on. Dawn wants to call in. Let's see if that.
We're gonna see.
Dawn, are you there?
I'm gonna try. Is this working?
Hello, Dawn. It does say connected.
Say
we're trying to talk to Dawn, but while we're talking, Dawn, whenever you can hear us, just speak. So that was awful. I know Nicole's part of a thing coming to Lowell. They're going to have a Pride festival?
Yes, we are. Lowell's first in-person Pride is happening in June, COVID willing, and it's going to be amazing. We're so excited. The store is sponsoring part of it, but not all of it. Like, it's not a Bettie Stages event. We are one of the sponsors, but sure. Mostly I was just like, hey, Lowell needs to do this. And so I got some friends together and we've been planning it. And, it's okay.
I want to know Break Room Therapy is a sponsor of that.
They sure are.
If you need some assistance of some sort, things people don't know about me, I actually put on a Pride event.
You did in Hudsonville.
In Hudsonville, Michigan. Because again, I don't love censorship. I will agree upon curse words because my wife wants me to respect that. Otherwise, I don't usually care. But a girl, so the backstory is real quick. A girl had a shirt that was, it was a Pride shirt type thing. And I think it said Monday, or, it said Gay Pride Agenda or whatever. And it said Monday, be gay. Tuesday, super gay. Wednesday, really gay. Like Thursday, going down, like calming down on the gayness. And then Friday, like party gay. And I was like, and the teacher made her take her shirt off. The principal like sent her home. And at the time I was making these pride shirts, and they have it's a pride flag and it has the state of Michigan cut out of it. And so I go on Facebook and I was like, hey, if anybody knows this girl, like I have a shirt for her. Like I just want to give her a shirt. And people like what you're dealing with kept literally just poking, oh, this is horrible. Like you're a god awful person. And I was like, keep it up. Like all I want to do is get this person a shirt. Keep it up, and I will go to the next extreme. Like I have no problem getting my ladder out and like I can buy flags from China. I will put them up on every post down the street of Baldwin. Like you people don't know how much money I will spend just to piss you off, because it means nothing to me. So it just kept going, and people telling me so much. So I ended up building an entire event, like having it in Hudsonville, got a church on board. Like we have this giant event.
The 501st showed up.
Like it was insane. Like the amount of people that, and then now, like I look at how like, our event was kind of small. It was very big, but like the amount of people that showed, and now like the support that's growing just from that, and like how it keeps going. I'm like, all right, I've done my part. Y'all take it from here, because I've pissed enough people off, and I'm okay with it. We had a death threat for that one.
Yep.
That was fun. And I don't take those very kindly. So
shocking.
Yeah, it's a I'm not that kind of a person, right? I don't play games when it comes to my life, because I actually value mine, right?
So you were going to ask a question, break room therapy wise.
Yes, I was. So you guys are in Byron Center,
Ultra conservative as well,
which we've already talked about.
Yeah.
You live in Byron Center. A neighbor comes up and says, "Hey, we don't care.
We don't want those people.
We don't care for the gays.
The gays and the blacks."
And I'm over here like, "Hey, can I go party with them? Because they're way cooler than you
The
guys."
gays and the blacks.
Yes, of course.
Me too.
So how has it impacted your business?
Honestly, we are the exact opposite of Nicole. We have had hardly any kickback from people pissed off about it. We had the one I talked about in the beginning of the episode that wanted to make sure he got paid as much as the gays.
Sure.
Which he's not getting hired, so he's getting paid way less than the gays if we employed any. I don't know if we employed any. That's not a question we ask. I mean, if they are, that's fine. I mean, my daughter's a lesbian. She can work here anytime she wants. I don't care.
Right.
I know the straight guy that works here gets paid absolutely fucking nothing. I make no money whatsoever.
I guarantee the token white male makes less money. It's not working. Sorry, Dawn's trying to call in.
Yeah, Dawn's trying to call in, but it's not working for her. So she's probably not going to talk to us.
So no kickback from that.
No, we really have had none.
Have you seen positive, like people coming out?
We have people have visited us because she'll be here in 5 minutes, so she can speak then. Anyways, we have. So like after Breonna Taylor died, family members of her, because of course she's from Grand Rapids originally. Family members of hers came in because they needed to blow off some steam.
Yeah.
And one of her aunts was adamant she just didn't want to go anywhere because she didn't want any backlash. And her daughter, which was a cousin of Brianna's, said, no, look at their Facebook. This is a safe place for us. And this was when we were back at the old location, and they came and it was helpful to them. And Dawn was really proud that she was able to provide that safe space for those people, because obviously, they were going through a traumatic event.
Yeah.
I mean, and it doesn't have to be an event like that. I mean, we had a guy booked an appointment yesterday for his girlfriend.
Yep. And
her 21st birthday was like 5 days ago. And her grandma died that day. She buried her grandma. She buried her grandma that day. She didn't die, but either way.
That's the hardest day. And
at one point, she's sitting in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And Dawn can tell, okay, she's gone through most of the stuff, but she's obviously having an issue. Dawn went in and talked to her for a couple minutes. And said, hey, take all the time you need. You need to cry, cry. You need to scream, scream. It's perfectly fine. You do whatever you need to do here.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting a little extra time because we just could tell she needed it. You know, we're rigidly timed on things, but now that we're in a bigger location, we have a little bit of leeway.
Yeah. I mean, unless you're 40 minutes late trying to get your appointment.
True story. But I mean, you know, with this girl, like, you felt for her because obviously she was close to her grandma and her grandma died, and you know, that was a raw emotion for this girl.
Yeah. No, you know, and let's say I own a small complex, right, with mostly Hispanics that live there.
Yeah.
ICE was a big concern for a while, and you know, I know that a lot of, you know, I knock on the door and it's as English as possible. Who is it? You know, and it's like, look, I hear from, you know, the community of people that live there, hey, this is what, look, here's number one rules. I will always have your back. Like, if anybody knocks on the door, anybody does whatever, you don't have to answer. If you have something that you feel whatever, you may go ahead and give me a call. I will escort these people off of the property at any point in time. That is who I am. If they want to talk to you, they can do it by the correct routes. They can do everything. There's nothing I can do to stop whatever, but I can keep people off of my property, and this is my property in the end. You know, and sorry, most people don't know the amount of things that I do for the people that I care about, right? And my tenants are people I care about, right? I've trusted you with my property, which is my life of financials in the end, right? You know, I tell this very, I've never told this to anybody except for my wife, right? Like, and I guarantee you, every time I go over there, ever since, right? Oh, Mr. Nick, you want a taco? I mean, because they know how to get me, right? It's like straight through the stomach, baby. Like, it'll get there. But
taco and a Bud Light, and you're a happy man.
Factual statement. I mean, I'll drink Coronas. I ain't got no problem. So, let's say, oh, hey. Here, so let's pull up a chair real quick.
Yeah.
Hop on screen. Oh, we'll do that one next week.
Yep. So,
just send it to voicemail. We're not open yet.
no, it's my phone trying to call you, and I'm not trying to call you.
Dawn's still trying to call us, but she's not trying to call us. There's Nicole. Say hi.
Hi, honey.
Hi.
So I just got kicked to the back of the bus.
You
So, we're gonna communicate this way. So, Dawn, you own a business here, Byron Center. David's kind of filled us in a little bit, but what are some of the positives about the way you guys have taken stances? Because I know, granted, I've given my money for a T-shirt that you guys are doing here soon.
We are.
So, like, what are some of the positives that you guys have seen from the stances you have taken in your business?
Well, first of all, Nicole, I think it's garbage that you've dealt with what you've had. When I've posted, I have, because we're in Byron Center, kind of questioned whether or not we were going to have the negativity, and we haven't had a single one, which makes me proud to know that there are so many supportive people, but sad that you have to deal with as much garbage as what you deal with, because it shouldn't be that way. But because we have been extremely vocal and extremely open, we do have those people that feel safer coming here. And that's exactly why we opened our business, is to people have a safe space to decompress.
You're talking to us through your phone.
I don't know how to shut it off. I joined and I couldn't unjoin.
Hit the X.
Just seriously.
We're hitting our
I was trying. But anyhow,
background noise.
Every time we've posted, you know, in the back of my mind, I'm like, all right, here we go. We're going to have the problems that Nicole has had. And we haven't, which is great. But it's sad because, you know, you should be receiving what we are. But I mean, we had a whole bunch of sorority sisters that came here last weekend, and you know, one of them was a little bit worried too, and she saw that, you know, no, look at their Facebook page, they're extremely open. They even posted a live video, and in the live video, they have a Black Lives Matter post or a flag.
I will say another one of my favorite groups, because they were elderly Black women, and they love to give me shit.
But, you know, and we're going to have June, we're focusing on Pride. We're going to have a Pride photo shoot here. And I was specific on making sure that, you know, we only are having people in that photo shoot that are of the LGBTQ community, because representation matters. And we
I'm
don't
getting hated on.
only speak it, we actually act it as well, and I feel like that's really important.
If you want to come be part of the photo shoot, I'm sure Don will let them take pictures of me and you holding each other. It's fine.
Dude, my limited time that I have.
I will say one of my favorite videos with you is us jumping into the pool hand in hand.
So we talked about the positives. Any negative feedbacks? Anything at all? Have you seen business decline?
No, I don't feel like we've had a negative decline, and that's a positive thing. The only thing we had was a very weird interaction with somebody that wanted a job one time, and I thought the conversation was going well, and then it gets to, I just want to ask you a question. I'm like, all right, what's your question? And this was not on text or Facebook Messenger. It was over the phone, so there's no question on tone or deliberation of what the intent was. And the exact question to me was, well, I see that you support LGBTQ individuals and BIPOC, and I want to know, will I be paid as much as them? And I'm like, what do you mean by them? He goes, well, I know that you support them, and I want to make sure you're going to pay me the same. And I'm like, well, actually, based on your question and tone, I can already tell you you're not a good fit for the business, so you're not going to be getting paid at all. And, it's like, where is this even coming from?
Yeah.
But we haven't had negativity, and I'm not wanting the negativity, but we've had a lot of people feel comfortable because they come here, because they know that they're welcomed here.
Yeah. Well, and I can honestly say, I said this earlier in the episode, and it'll probably come off wrong, but I'm going to say it again anyways. The only man you employ, you pay nothing to because it's your husband.
I don't employ
He's a straight man. He gets no money. I get no money.
I'm sorry. How much do you rent for this podcast room?
Lots.
I guess I get money because I get a free podcasting room.
Yeah.
Nick paid, but it's for t-shirts.
But no, I mean, I'm really proud of you, Nicole. I think you've taken the beating in just your poster sign alone. I mean, it gets spit on. It gets, so many other things, vandalized all the time. And then you upped it and you're like, all right, don't like my sign, let's do a whole big event, and I hope that you receive nothing but love and support that day. And Break Room Therapy is proud to support you in your endeavors.
You guys are so sweet. It just boggles my mind because, these people clearly don't know me, because every time I'm like, maybe I could put something else on my sign, or maybe I could do something else. They fuck with me again, and I'm like, doubling down now. Every time you mess with me, you were just giving me more. I'm such a stubborn person, and I'm such a vocal person that you're not gonna mess with me in a way that's gonna make me regret my choices or do anything differently, because integrity is such a huge part of who I am, that every choice I make sure it is consistent with my values and who I am as a person. So you're not gonna change my mind by being mean to me. That's just not how this is gonna work. And second of all, what are you going to do to me? There's nothing you can do to me that's going to make me change my mind. I have an amazing supportive family. I have an amazing supportive husband. I have a fantastic business. I'm doing very well. And you're going to hurt my feelings because you tell me I'm going to hell? I haven't heard that before. I grew up in Zealand. That was my entire childhood. I'm over it. I trained for this. I grew up in the UP and I grew up in Zealand. And I was bi. My entire life, I lived in the closet. I haven't heard that I'm going to hell and I'm an abomination because God hates me. First of all, I'll be in heaven and I'll be fine, and you can go to hell. It's going to be great. So, yeah.
Well, I don't know if you've even mentioned this, because I only joined on my way of driving, but she's also a military member.
Oh, we let off with that. Yeah. She's anti-American and anti-police.
Yeah, I don't know how she can be anti-American when she's a military member, and I don't know how she can be anti-police with who her husband is. So I mean,
yeah, we let off.
I just love when people try to what they try to say that you are, but yet technically they're the ones that sound hateful, and they're the ones that sound, judgmental, and I don't know.
I hear it so often. It's very funny because we have our vigil every Sunday, and there's a guy across the street from us who has his
anti-vigil
sign, and then there's a guy who stands on the other corner waving an American flag. And it's he could go either way, except for he's wearing a MAGA hat, so you know exactly which way he's going. But the number of people who will stop and thank them for their service, assuming that they're the veterans. And I'm on the street corner of the people here, I can promise you the only veteran is the one that's standing over here. And you're going, okay, whatever. But it just makes me laugh every time because everybody always assumes, even in our house, like people always assume my husband is the veteran and not me. Like he'll get a ton of mail telling him to use his VA benefits and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, I'm not that cool. I'm not the badass. That's my wife. Like she's the one who did all of this. And so it's just always very funny when people underestimate me and just think like, no, she's just this cute, sweet little girl with the mermaid hair. Like she couldn't possibly. Yeah.
Well, that's where a lot of it comes from is people don't take time to ask any questions. They just look at you and decide what you are.
Yep.
Again, I'm an equal opportunity hater. I hate everybody the same until you give me a reason not to hate you.
Yep.
But it's not for anything I see. It's just for the fact that you're a person and I'm probably not going to like you.
Well, you see, and you say that, but I actually find the difference in you. I think that you give people the benefit where you like them, and then you hate them very fast.
This is what women do, okay? They always try to read into it. David, you're a hater in my eyes, buddy. You could be the hate. So, yeah, no, he's not. He's an angry man.
I'm only a big teddy bear when I can hold your hand and jump in the pool.
That's a fact.
I'll hold your hand.
I say, I got this. No, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us about your bookstore, where people can find you, what they can do to support you, or what they can do to not support you?
And when your event is.
Yeah, so we're right downtown Mall, 216 East Main. So you can't miss us. You drive through downtown Mall, you will see our sign. We're out. The sign is out. We are open. Come on in. We're online at bettiespages.com, and we're also on Facebook. We're on all the social medias. TikTok is my new favorite thing. I have a lot of fun on there. And then our Pride event is going to be June 5th, and it's going to be from 11 until dusk. We're going to have Drag Queen Storytime, which is the portion of the event that Betty's Pages is sponsoring, of course. That made quite the splash in town. We're going to have a panel discussion, so if people have questions that they've always wanted to ask, either whether they're part of the community or if they're allies and they've just never felt comfortable asking, there's a Google Doc where they can leave their questions anonymously, so that way they can ask without feeling like like you want to ask a question but you don't want to feel stupid. So they can ask their questions there, and it's going to be staffed by medical professionals, activists, just members of the community. We're going to have anybody can wear anything clothing fashion show. That's going to be really cool. And then we're going to be doing a showing of the movie Real Boy, and then there will be vendors and all kinds of cool things going throughout the day along the Riverwalk. So I'm really excited for that because it's going to be smack dab right in the center of town. It's going to be amazing. So,
let's say, do you need more people to compete in this drag competition? Because I don't know if you know this about me.
We have some very fantastic drag queens from Beauty Beyond Drag who are going to come and read stories, and then they're going to do a quick drag show, which will be very, very exciting because I don't even care. Like, I'm sponsoring the event, so I suppose I should be like in charge and whatever, but I'm going to be front row center. I'm going to be pushing little kids out of the way. Like, I'm just like, no. I'm ready for story time. It's going to be amazing. I'm actually, so I bowl. I'm leaving in 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it is, for Las Vegas. The first tournament I'm going to is the International Gay Bowling Organization, which at the end of that, there's a big banquet, and there's always a drag show. And so, of course, the biggest, sexiest one gets called out to do a dance-off competition, which I want everybody to know that I officially nailed it. So we pulled up 2 random people, I, of course, being one of them. The first guy conceded to me. The second person that was brought up has been a dancer before doing drag, so I got beat the second one, but I officially won my first ever round of dancing. They conceded. So Daddy Nick's got this all day, every day. And then I turn around and I actually bowl the United States Bowling Congress, the USBC bowling tournament, and that is normal bowling, but I happen to bowl with 250 gay people. I'm one of 5 that are straight in this entire group, and then we just go party and do more stuff because that's way more fun. I hate bowling with straight people. They're so boring. So if you ever need any because you said I can wear whatever I want. I'm getting out my booty shorts and my tank top cut off. Like, this is what's up. Like, my milkshake's gonna bring all the boys to the yard. We do have volunteer opportunities, and we have a whole host of big burly dudes who are going to be walking around making sure nobody causes any trouble. So if you want to come and join the ranks, we will definitely.
I don't, but I'm going to come join the festivities and drink.
If I wasn't working that day, I'd run around in my Tuscan.
Actually, I think June 5th, I don't know if I'm still out of town or if I'm back in town yet. But if I'm in town, I will try to make it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day. I'm very excited.
So, I think we're all set here. So I'm gonna finish this up with like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your family. Great episode. I really appreciate your time this morning on a Sunday, especially.
And look up Betty's pages. Please follow her.
Yeah, I say big shout out to Reds Wicked
and Arnold Spike.
Yeah, I say there you go. Brewed in some big giant corporation that we still support because we can't always get everything we want on a Sunday morning.
We can't.
So
thank you so much for joining us, Nicole. We really appreciated it.
Very fun.
All right, we will talk to you later. Thank you again.
All right, I'll put this in the fridge for your other ones.
all right. Oh man,